Marvel made a billion-dollar decision without this actor. Then they realized they couldn't make the show without him. Wilson Bethel delivered one of the greatest villain performances in superhero television history. Netflix canceled the show in 2018. He watched it happen from a hospital bed scene that never aired. Years later, when Marvel revived the series, they had already decided to leave him out entirely. But something went wrong. The new version didn't work. And Marvel did something rare. They started over. They rewrote everything. They brought him back. And by the time Season 2 aired, his performance became the most talked about arc on the internet. This is the story of how an actor built himself into a role so specific, so irreplaceable, that an entire franchise had to stop and rebuild itself just to have him in it. Wilson Bethel was born on February 24, 1984, in a small town called Hillsborough, New Hampshire. Not the kind of place that produces actors. The kind of place that produces writers, philosophers, people who think about stories instead of performing them. His mother was Joyce Maynard. She was a published author, a journalist, the kind of voice that shows up in the New York Times, in magazines that matter. His father was an artist. The household was narrative. It was creative oxygen. Growing up surrounded by storytelling, Bethel absorbed something that most child actors never get. He didn't have to want to be famous. He grew up around people who made things because the making of things was the point. The audience was optional. He attended Wesleyan University in Connecticut, studied American studies. But it was the drama productions in college that changed the math. By graduation, he wasn't hedging his bets. Acting wasn't a backup plan. It was the only answer to a question he'd already asked. He moved to Los Angeles. Like thousands of actors do, like almost none of them succeed. The first years were the grind. Guest spots on JAG, Cold Case, NCIS, the kind of television nobody remembers, the kind that teaches you how to work. Then came Generation Kill in 2008, an HBO miniseries about the Iraq War, starring Alexander Skarsgård. Bethel played Corporal Evan Stafford, and for the first time, he was in something that mattered, something that won Emmys, something that asked him to be serious. He was 24 years old, and he had finally stepped into the water. 2 years on, The Young and the Restless taught him the rhythm of daily television, the discipline of showing up and delivering the same emotional truth 20 times in a 10-day stretch. Then in 2011, he landed the role that would redefine him. Wade Kinsella on the CW's Heart of Dixie, a Southern bartender, rough around the edges, but with a heartbeat beneath the roughness. For 4 seasons, opposite Rachel Bilson, Bethel was the charming bad boy, the one fans wanted to root for. In 2011, Buddy TV ranked him number 14 on television's sexiest men. The next year, he cracked the top 5. He was on television in the way that television mattered then, beloved, accessible. The kind of actor who made romance feel lived in. But Heart of Dixie ended in 2015. And when it ended, the heartthrob era ended with it. He was 31 years old. He had built a career on likability. And now, he was looking at a question that every television actor eventually faces. What comes after the charm runs out? Around 2010, while Heart of Dixie was still in its first season, Bethel entered an audition process that would have changed everything. Marvel was casting Captain America, the first Avenger, Steve Rogers, one of the anchor roles of the entire MCU. Bethel screen tested multiple times. He met Kevin Feige. He did the whole sequence. According to the story, he wore a bomber jacket open to reveal a Captain America uniform underneath. They asked him to imagine what this role could be, what he could make of it. The role went to Chris Evans. Bethel called it heartbreaking, but he also called it pivotal. He said it came at a moment when he wasn't sure he had a path in the industry, when he wasn't taking himself seriously enough to deserve a role like that. Getting that close forced him to change his relationship with the work, forced him to understand that he could be asked to carry something larger than charm. He lost the shield, but he learned something that he didn't know he'd need: In 2018, Netflix released Season 3 of Daredevil, and buried inside it was something different. Not just another villain, a transformation. Wilson Bethel wasn't playing a finished character. He was building one, piece by piece. Benjamin Dex Poindexter, FBI agent, disciplined, precise, functional, on the surface. But underneath, something was broken. Dex didn't understand people. He studied them, mirrored them, copied emotions the way someone learns a language they don't actually speak. Connection wasn't natural. It was performed. And then he met Wilson Fisk. That's where everything changes. Because Fisk doesn't just see Dex, he recognizes him. The instability, the isolation, the need to belong. And he uses it. Not with force, with precision. He isolates him, controls his environment, replaces trust with dependence, until Dex can't tell the difference between loyalty and manipulation. And then, he turns him, not just into a killer, into something much more dangerous. A weapon wearing the face of Daredevil, framing the hero, destroying his identity from the inside. This wasn't loud acting, it wasn't flashy, it was controlled, internal. Every movement calculated, every emotion slightly off. Like watching someone try to be human and almost getting it right. Critics noticed immediately. This wasn't just good. It was precise, built from the inside out. Season 3 landed near-perfect scores. And across reviews, one thing kept repeating. Bullseye had stolen the show. And then, it ended. November 2018. Netflix cancels Daredevil. No build-up, no continuation, just over. Bethel's final scene? Dex on an operating table. Body broken, spine shattered, being rebuilt, mid-surgery. And then, his eyes open. That's it. Not the end of the character, the beginning. The exact moment he was supposed to become Bullseye. And the story stops. Right there. Mid-transformation, mid-evolution, mid-sentence. He didn't lose the role. He didn't fail. He built the most complete performance of his career, right up to the moment it was about to become iconic. And then, it disappeared. The next few years were quiet, a holding pattern. Wilson Bethel moves on, joins All Rise, plays Deputy District Attorney Mark Callan, a steady role, a network show, reliable. The kind of career move that makes sense, but doesn't change anything, because somewhere else, something was changing. Marvel was rebuilding, slowly, carefully, reclaiming what it had left behind. Charlie Cox appears in Spider-Man: No Way Home. A small scene, but it meant everything. Vincent D'Onofrio returns as Kingpin in Hawkeye. Same character, same presence, no reboot. The message was clear. The Netflix era wasn't being erased, it was being pulled back in, reintegrated, reclaimed, made canon again. And then, in 2022, Marvel makes it official. Daredevil, born again. 18 episodes, a full revival, a second chance. Everything was lining up. The world was coming back. The story was continuing, except not all of it. Because the original plan for Born Again was different. Lighter in tone, more episodic, less connected to what came before. A reset. And in that version, some names were missing. No Karen Page, no Foggy Nelson, and no Bullseye. Which meant no Wilson Bethel. The character that had stolen Season 3 wasn't part of the future. Not because the story ended, but because the story was moving on. Without him. For over 2 years, he watched it happen. The universe he helped build. Being reconstructed, piece by piece. The return was real. The revival was happening. He just wasn't in it. Production begins. Early 2023. And then, everything stops. The Writers Guild of America strike 2023 hits. Hollywood shuts down. Scripts frozen. Cameras off. Momentum gone. But behind the scenes, something bigger was already happening. Marvel Studios reviews what they've filmed, and the reaction isn't good. The original version of Daredevil, Born Again, doesn't feel right. Too distant, too clean, too disconnected from the thing that made Daredevil matter in the first place. The tone is off. The characters feel hollow, like echoes of something stronger. So Marvel makes a decision, a rare one. They stop. They don't tweak it. They don't adjust it. They reset it. September 2023. The showrunners are out. The direction is scrapped, and the entire series is rebuilt. This time, they bring in Dario Scartapan, the man behind the Punisher, someone who understands the tone, the weight, the consequences, and the philosophy changes immediately. This isn't a reboot, it's a continuation. Not something new, something unfinished. Which means you don't erase the past, you lean into it. And if you do that, certain characters become impossible to ignore. Bullseye is one of them, because you can't continue that story without finishing what he started. Early 2024, reports begin to surface. Wilson Bethel is coming back, not officially framed as the centerpiece, not positioned as the lead, but present, back in the world he helped define. And that changes everything, because Bullseye was never just a villain, he was an origin in progress, a transformation that got cut off right before completion. Now, for the first time, there's a chance to finish it. No one knows exactly how far they'll go. No one knows how central he'll become. But the direction is clear. Marvel isn't running from the Netflix legacy anymore. They're rebuilding on top of it. And this time, they're bringing back the pieces they almost left behind. This isn't a story about a rise and a fall. Wilson Bethel never burned too bright. He never had to. No headlines, no superstardom, just consistency, working, showing up, delivering. But this is something rarer. A performance that should have defined a career, cut off before it had the chance, paused, abandoned, left unfinished, and then brought back. Not out of nostalgia, not for fan service, because it turned out they couldn't move forward without it. The Captain America rejection? That wasn't failure. That was calibration. The moment he realized he could carry more than charm, the cancellation of Daredevil, that was the crucible. The moment the work was taken away, before it was finished, and 4 years. That's where it stayed, unresolved, incomplete, a sentence without an ending. Then came Daredevil, Born Again. And at first, he wasn't even part of it, which proved something important. You can try to move on from a performance like that. You can write around it, ignore it, replace it. But if it's built deep enough, the story starts to collapse without it. That's what happened here. Marvel didn't just change direction, they admitted something. They couldn't rebuild this world without bringing him back. And now, all these years later, the sentence continues. Not louder, not bigger, just unavoidable. Because this was never about screen time. It was about weight, presence, impact. The kind you don't notice at first, until it's missing. Fame creates stars. Time erases most of them. But every once in a while, something doesn't fade. It waits. And when it comes back, it doesn't ask for attention. It takes its place like it was always supposed to be there. And everyone watching has the same reaction. How did we almost lose this? This is what happened to Wilson Bethel. And this is what it looks like. When something too real to replace refuses to disappear. Daredevil, Born Again is back. Season 2 is here. And Season 3, already in motion and right at the center of it, is Wilson Bethel. Not louder, not bigger, just impossible to ignore. Because Bullseye didn't become important overnight. He always was. They just tried to move on without him, and it didn't work. sometimes the character you almost write out, is the one holding the entire story together, and the actor you forget is the one you can't replace.